What up, David? So I'm here back with my guest commentators.
Hello.
You're supposed to say your name.
I'm Lieutenant Double Z.
And I'm Syron.
So this is another post commentary and the last one, if that, and we're gonna finish off Rock and Roller Coaster Terror in this episode. And the next level we're heading to is the water park. And as you can see, we've gotten our second costume.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing you get that.
Right.
Right, because
Or
skipped it.
Or Dean turned into Daredevil.
Maybe, but whatever. Or you just weren't paying attention because it showed the intro cutscene. Basically, it was at the end of that last one. You probably weren't paying attention at that point because you were tired.
Probably.
Because you were pretty much tired of it.
Yeah.
Isn't that this guitar ghoul guy? Let's have a look.
Let's have a look,
He
Scooby.
rocks. Get it? He rocks.
Yeah, that's the universe punishing you for that bad joke.
Raggy! You're going on a water slide. So unfair.
Yep.
We're going too, Raggy.
Yep. And all I can definitely say is that this one, even though it doesn't make sense to make a water park into like this type of level as you're gonna see the design here, it definitely is executed well. I would say better than the haunted house, which didn't work at all. Okay.
Well, I don't know. It was kind of weird to have Chinatown in the middle of this mubber factory.
Yeah, it wasn't even in the middle of the mubber factory. It was, you had to drive to it, you know.
Right.
And I was just and I know there are different Chinatowns, but the most prominent ones that they say, I'm just looking for like clues or whatever, you know.
Right.
Making sure.
Still trying to complete this.
Well, with certain things, like for example, because there are clues that are one or two are essential to move the plot along.
Yeah, remember last time he had to get, they're like, what could Lao Tzu or whatever, I'll just say Lao Tzu because that's the name in my head at the moment.
Lao Tzu?
Yeah, it's the Chinese name that's in my head.
Zentu.
Yeah, Zentu. What could he want and what is he doing and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And he had to pick clues that matched it.
And also, a couple of the clues are key to opening up, like levels, levels. But either way, it's just kind of what it is,
All right, so now I know what the mubber is for. That's something that you use for the various machines, yeah. But what are the Scooby snacks for? What do you get from them?
Well, collect 100. Like if one of your health or your metals or whatever has been damaged at the time you get, and you get 100 of them, which there are more than that, I'm sure, in every level. Well, you get that. You get one, like metal of health back.
That doesn't seem appropriate to the task. Like 100, there's not enough of them for 100 to be equivalent to one hit point.
Right. I thought it was going to give you an extra life.
Well, as far as I haven't seen any lives.
There isn't any.
Yeah, so it wouldn't do that, but there should be way more if it's doing that.
Well, yeah, and also another thing, they're one heck of a good guy.
No, that's true. It's kind of like with other platformers, you can use them as a guide to various secrets where you're supposed to go.
Alright.
Yep, so
Just dealing with the rejects from the Phantom of the Paradise.
Phantom of the Paradise.
I'm not expecting any of you to get that.
yeah.
Only Phantom I know is Phantom of the Opera. What are you talking about?
The rock and roll version of the Phantom of the Opera.
I mean, why couldn't they just call it Phantom of the Opera and just make it rock opera? So,
Phantom of the Rock Opera?
yeah, why not? I mean, they've done it before, rock operas.
Right.
And also, speaking of musicals, I mentioned last time Scooby-Doo, the Music of the Vampire, which was an animated direct-to-DVD film that they made that was a musical. I saw it on TV, parts of it on TV as a kid. But I got a full context of it when I watched Musical Hell's review on it. And yeah, you know, like there was less good about good. There was more bad than good about. But one thing definitely, at least you know, like basically the villain in that movie. This now, while most other Scooby-Doo villains avoid this, you know, avoid this. He just does. This was this. You know, like his and the bad guy's entire plan. It would have backfired no matter what the outcome was. Okay. Whether he won or lost, because well, if he won, it would have collapsed eventually if they did. But you know.
Well, what? Okay, just go over what it was.
Well, okay, so.
I forgot. I've seen it, but I've forgotten a lot of it.
Alright, so basically, let's put it this way. Alright, I'll just tell you who the bad guy is, because likely you're never
I'm not gonna watch it.
No, I'm not gonna watch it again.
So you're likely never gonna watch it. Okay, so the bad guy. Alright, so I mean the story's already flawed from the beginning. Basically they decide to take a vacation, you know, like from solving mysteries or whatnot.
To Australia!
No, it wasn't that one. It was to this town in Louisiana. I know there was one called Legend of the Vampire.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of. So never mind. I haven't seen it.
So basically so they go to this little town with in a different language. It means little bat town, which development highly suggests they go to for a vacation. To go to the vampire festival.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's burly guys with symbols.
You're kind of less intimidating with the symbols.
I don't know. That's pretty intimidating. I mean, why do these burly guys have symbols?
What, are you part of? And there's no marching band anywhere inside.
Yeah,
and there's no biker marching band.
Could you imagine them being on their bikes, going to Sturgis, going...
That would be amazing. I would love to see that.
No, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't see it. Because they'd go... And you'd be like, oh, what was that? I mean, that's the other thing. You wouldn't be able to hear them doing that tune, because they'd go by too fast.
So go to Vampire Festival, which is already a bad idea in and of itself.
I have no doubt I know that it exists in real life.
Well, the thing is that this is Scooby-Doo, and they haven't gained awareness of the tropes of their own series. So.
No, they will drive their they drive their formula hard.
Yeah.
No, I meant the in-universe characters don't usually recognize the things that are common within their own series.
Like, it's not like what
That's why they keep being surprised, and it's like, you think you learn after the 100th time that this is gonna happen.
There are times where they do become like genre savvy.
Yeah.
Genre savvy, but that's not really common.
Well, I wouldn't put it genre savvy, because genre savvy would be more like everything and not just their own stuff.
Right.
Alright, so
how about self-aware?
Yeah, self-aware, that's it.
But either way, so they meet in the town itself, even though this kind of makes no sense in historical context. It was founded by Abraham Van Helsing.
Okay.
And pretty much they meet up. And they basically meet up, and this guy is the bad guy, and you'll see for
Let me guess, they're gonna use every vampire trope in the book.
I would.
The guy's name was I don't remember his name.
I don't.
It was Van Helsing.
Abraham Van Helsing?
No, I'm pretty sure he had a different first name.
I don't. But either way, it doesn't matter. What?
Yeah, continue.
What doesn't matter. What happens? What ends up? So they meet up with, like the bad guy of the film, who is a descendant of whom it's anyone's guess how far of a descendant of Van Helsing, Victor Van Helsing.
Victor, okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Victor Van Helsing. Well, let's put it to you that this and also part of there are these dumb, like, sort of like vampire like wannabes or delusional, and the leader of them is unironically named Bram, and he's the only one out of two characters who can actually sing.
Okay.
And the other one being Daphne's voice actor. But
looks like he died.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I forgot. Legend of Zelda rules.
Yeah. You fall, you just
hit one hit point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, so either way, basically what he was using in like this costume for, which is apparently like parts of like some however many old vampire on display or whatever in the museum. So basically what his entire plan was so he doesn't have to, was like just to bring like tourist dollars. They would come to that town for years to come, like if they believed an actual like sort of vampire ritual happened there, and he would no longer have to rely on the money grubbing festival owner for money. But then again, that kind of makes things not, which once I kind of explain the context here, like why this would have failed either way. All right, so once like words get out that it's fake, and also the wannabe vampires like they're delusional, once they figure out that they're not exactly doing it for like say
kicks.
They're not exactly doing it for like kicks. They're doing it for more like, oh, this is a cultural whatever, man. I know, whatever. It doesn't matter. But what happens when they find out and grow up? They can't do anything a vampire can do, and then they just leave. So you could see.
What, did someone jump off a roof thinking they can fly?
No, but I'm just saying, eventually in the future, if like Van Helsing succeeded with this plan, it would have failed either way.
Okay. Name is Van Helsing ever.
I mean, you haven't really fully explained the plan, but
basically,
not necessarily.
But basically, he was just trying to stage like this huge, like vampire ritual or something. But then, which would cause like people from like who are like believers would come for years to come.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
But unfortunately, it would be. Why I say it would be short-lived is because because like as I said, once those wannabe vampires come to terms, they'll just leave and they'll probably say the whole thing was a stage threat. The word would probably get out, which what happens.
No, really. I think it would end up more like assassination because even briefly successful. If it's briefly successful, it would be permanently successful. Because, cryptoids and all that other people who like that kind of stuff, they do it because of the mystery. And if you tell them it's not true, they're not going to believe you because they'll believe you're trying to hide something.
Right.
Or they just chosen to believe it because they want to believe it, and they're not going to believe you. So, no, I do think it could be successful. It just depends on a lot of circumstances and people.
Bigfoot's not the only one.
It all depends on lots of different little individuals making lots of different little individual choices.
Yeah, but still,
I'm not sure how many people believe in actual vampires.
Yeah.
So, it's a little bit different than, say, Sasquatch. It's like,
or the Mothman.
Yeah, it's not so unbelievable that you've got a big hairy primate somewhere out in the woods.
Right.
I mean, it seems unrealistic that we wouldn't have found evidence of them, but
right.
Other than like some people being like, "Oh, I saw this big hairy ape thing."
Yeah,
it's like okay,
kind of more believable.
Yeah, it's a bit more believable. So more people, yes, for that. But there's lots of other people who'd be like, "Yeah, sure, vampires are real."
I no doubt. Yeah, I would do.
So no, I don't think that would automatically fail.
Right.
What I'm not talking about short term. I'm talking about long term. Because I think the select few is not enough to keep bringing in money.
you don't know how big the select few is, but you underestimate fanatics.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you vastly underestimate fanatics.
Yeah.
If someone is a fanatic of vampires, that they would go there, they'd go there next year, and the year after, and the year after. They'd go every freaking year.
Yes, and there's no shortage of vampire fanatics. There's no shortage.
I don't know about that. I mean, there's plenty of people who are like, vampires is kind of fun. And also, let's say that people do find out and they believe that and know it's fake, but then they'd be like, well, we'll go anyway because it was a cool thing that happened that one time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that happened in World of Warcraft, stuff that happened there, that people who played World of Warcraft still talk about to this day, even if they never play it, if they don't play it anymore. I haven't played World of Warcraft for years, but the words, the Ashbringer, always make me feel something.
The Ashbringer?
The Ashbringer, because it was...
Wasn't that paladin artifact from...
Yeah, eventually, but the thing was that it was such a long-running thing. That artifact that was in that legendary item in the distance
and also,
that we could never quite reach, but was always there.
All right. Now this next part right here. While it's annoying, but honestly, it's not as bad as the haunted house.
It looks like Twin Sanity.
Yeah,
it looks like the parts where Cortex and Crash are beating each other up in Twin Sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think you've played it. I haven't played Twin Sanity.
I know of Twin Sanity, but I have not played it myself personally.
I have played the first game and Wrath of Cortex, but that's where my Crash knowledge stops.
You skipped 2 and 3.
Well, I didn't have access to it, and also, you know, at the time I didn't have a job, and I was just, and I would, and I didn't really get money all that often, so yeah, I could probably afford the first and second game, at this point, but not at the time.
The trilogy remake.
Yes, the Insane trilogy. Yeah. I've only played one Crash game. That's Crash of the Titans. That's about it.
All right. So, and another topic I thought of today was there ever? All right, and now this is for playing on shows you watch, like say when you were a little kid, was besides the obvious, is there anything that is probably supposed to be charming but just comes off as creepy?
Not that I can think of immediately.
Charming
it's basically a version of Narm, honestly, is what we're talking about.
Narm?
Oh, you don't know what Narm is?
No.
So it's something that's supposed to be, if I remember the specific instance that it got, so the incident it got its name from was some movie where a dude gets his arm bitten off, I think by an alligator, and he says, my arm, and it sounds like Narm. So that's where the phrase comes from.
Okay.
And basically, Narm, if I remember correctly, is supposed to be when something's supposed to be serious.
Yeah.
But it comes off really dumb.
And
not funny at all.
Okay, that's totally different.
Well, no, that's not true because there's another trope called Narm Charm, where it's Narm, but it's charming because it's Narm. So bad it's good kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just talking let's say.
Yes, endearing. It's supposed to be endearing, but it comes off as creepy.
And I'm just talking like shows you watch, like say as little. I'm not saying I find these things creepy particularly, but I just know the reputation.
Well, the thing is, the things that are supposed to be charming but fail, usually they don't come off as creepy, they come off as eye-rolling.
Yeah, you're not creeped out, you're just like, really, guys?
It's like, oh, the power of friendship. Here
we have our potential second suspect right here.
Right, and I'm fine. I'll roll my eyes so that if it's done wrong, like, fairy tale.
What? You blasted Fairy Tale? Fairy Tale was cool, sort of. I never actually went past the time skip. I tried to.
I went a little after you.
Yeah, the thing was, I tried to. I was interested. I really wanted more, but that time skip just kept causing me problems. I was just like, oh, I hate it.
I'm like, I asked myself, why did you do it? Why?
Call me Nikki.
I stopped after like the Grand Magic games.
So what?
Yeah, I couldn't get to the Grand. Well,
Miss
I know I
Starlight.
did get to the Grand Magic games, but I never could finish it.
No.
I just like this is. I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just that time skip really, and I think
Guess who's in trouble again now?
Daphne, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's kind of like what happened with me in Harry Potter. The thing is that it was the thing that I thought was the best that I stopped being interested in it afterwards.
Really?
Because yeah, the arc before, I think it was the S rank test. It was like, that's really cool. All these dark guilds attacking them and they're barely defending themselves. This is really cool. And then it's like 2 year times, you're like, oh, now I don't care anymore.
I think it was 7 years.
Now that I have,
It doesn't
that I
matter.
have
2, 7,
now, I'm not-
95. The important part is that it's time skip. Bad things happen.
Right.
Now this part, I just kind of did it like a typically, like how we would end an episode, and I just kind of come all these things together. So I'm collecting the stuff. But since I now have an idea, of what, where stuff is,
Right.
it is, unlike last time, it's like, that's just kind of, what am I even trying to say? It's not gonna take as long this time.
Okay.
Just to put it late.
Okay, well, to not leave anyone in suspense, because I was just about to get to this. The same instance that I was talking about in Harry Potter, that was Goblet of Fire. I really liked Goblet of Fire, but then then I started the 5th book and it's like, I don't like it anymore.
No.
Well, apparently you're not alone.
Well, to be fair, it was because Order of the Phoenix was really boring. For most of it. It started out boring, it was way too big, it never got anywhere in the beginning. And I'm sure there was interesting parts later, but I don't care. It didn't grab me. It was boring, and I had just finished Goblet of Fire, and Goblet of Fire was amazing. So, I quit after that. It's probably not that uncommon because, to be honest, I guess the same thing kind of happened with Pirates of the Caribbean. The 3rd movie, what was it called? End of the
At World's End.
At World's End.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I actually
but
liked
I
it.
wasn't interested in the 4th.
Or the 5th. I watched all of them.
Though I think I have seen the 4th movie, and it wasn't bad, but I just wasn't interested because the trilogy was the story, and
It was over.
yeah, it's like, the main character that was supposed to be the main character isn't there anymore. It's true, Jack Sparrow's fun and all, but he wasn't supposed to be the main character.
Right. And yeah.
Though to be fair, the main character was boring.
I think 3 is like the good like
it's
stepping off.
It's a good stopping point.
Stopping
All
point
right.
because the fourth
Here we
one
go,
and the
trapeze
5th one,
time.
which I watched, suck.
Okay.
Just,
Alright, let's see what this new monster is.
just.
Circus Strongman.
It looks like a biker.
Yeah, but seriously, why does he have symbols?
That does not.
I don't know. It's other than it's an attack of sorts.
You could have just had them punch you, unless they
What the
couldn't.
hell's Angel Tattoo?
Yeah.
Yes?
That's why
I don't know. It looks like something.
It looks like chains.
No, the other one. It's got angel wings. I'm just not sure what's in the middle or what it is fully.
What, like the Hell's Angels?
Yeah, that's why I said that. It's probably not, but I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
Or heck
angel wings
angels.
there for some reason. Heck angles.
But then again, it probably wouldn't fly not only because it's a kids game, but I will say, Hell's Angels, they're not shy about being Sue happy either.
Look, we don't have anything to do with them, and
No.
so I
Go
kind of don't care.
where? It's like he doesn't even know he's a dog. I think that's funny.
Alright.
All right,
This is our next stage?
Yep, this is the next stage, and after this one, the boss stage is like just right across there. So it's a
Alright.
smaller hub world.
Alright, hold on to your butts.
butts. I'll keep my butt right where it is and not in my hands. Thank you very much. You butt toucher.
but either.
Butt toucher.
Either.
You keep talking about butts. These
Oh,
people
I
are
see
obsessed
now.
with butts.
So anyway. And I also had a potential. Did have a potential, you know, like idea for another thing to add to the docket, you know, eventually. Here we can talk. This is just an idea.
All right.
Plus, we're not exactly, you know, actually playing the game.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't know if you know this, but there was a Spider-Man game that came out alongside, you know, the first, you know, movie from 2002 with Tobey Maguire and directed by Sam Raimi. But and you know, I played the game a lot growing up, but I did have a memory with watching someone else play a Spider-Man game where you could play as the Green Goblin, you know, the depiction of it from that era.
Alright.
That era. Well, I didn't know what it was, but it turns out it's that same game. You just gotta unlock it, and I'm starting to wonder if, you know, like if I unlock it, we could play through the entire campaign, but do the Green Goblin campaign. But
Yes, hobby.
Yeah, are we talking about comic Green Goblin, movie Green Goblin,
You just said it's from that era, so it's from that movie.
Or funky Green Goblin from Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark?
He just said it's the one from that movie.
I just said it was like one from the first movie. It was released alongside the first movie.
Right.
And here's, you know, like another enemy that's based off, you know, like, well, the enemy itself is based off one villain from the show.
I know.
Which, you know, it's that clown that, you know, that can sometimes hypnotize people. And anyway, but apparently, you know, when you're Green Goblin, since, you know, like, you played after the game ends, and you are not Norman Osborn in the Green Goblin suit, you are Harry in the costume.
Okay.
Which honestly, I will say, playing as the Green Goblin, you know, like, is a cool factor, and I think that's the point, because other than that, the story and how it plays out is identical to when you're playing as Peter Parker or Spider-Man, which makes the story literally make no sense, but at the same time, it's cool, you know?
I don't know, he basically did an anti-hero thing in the movie. That's what it ended up having.
But this was before, you know, Spider-Man 3 came out, so...
Yeah.
So again, this is kind of how it is, and
then they just made Venom a full villain in that movie.
Oh yeah, don't remind me.
Well, I mean, it worked out just fine. It's just like, this isn't how I remembered the early stuff. I remembered Venom being the anti-hero character.
Venom, yeah, I like Venom as an anti-hero.
But I will say, with the new Venom movie coming out, we're probably gonna get weird. Well, if it's correct, we're gonna get the Venom versus Carnage thing we've always wanted.
Well,
sure.
It's in on the title, Let There Be Carnage.
I mean, I've been done with Spider-Man for a while. The 3 movies after that, I just didn't care about Spider-Man anymore.
I can kind of understand.
Well, I mean, it's not like it was horrible. It's just like, this is the end for me.
Alright, yeah, like I said, I kind of understand, especially if you're if you only watch the movies, or if you...
No, I did do the cartoons back in the 90s, but the thing is that I can't remember much of anything about it anymore. I remember they had, I think it was called Spider-Man Ultimate, where he went to a different planet or something.
Oh, Spider-Man Unlimited!
Unlimited, yes. If I remember,
and that was dumb. That was just really dumb.
Hey, it was actually interesting.
For a while, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, because it's true. You couldn't do so much when it's just like, oh, none of the characters other than Jameson's son are really here. Jameson's son and Spider-Man, that's all that's here.
I did like the Unlimited costume. I don't care what anyone says. I did like it.
Is that the one where he wears a cape?
Yeah, the tiny little web cape.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other ones that have that too. It
That
doesn't seem that uncommon.
That one was actually due, allegedly, to some kind of copyright dispute.
Alright.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Right,
Probably
dude.
trying to make it so they didn't have to pay as much money to some person.
Right. What I was trying to say is whether you, I can understand just being sick of Spider-Man, even if you watch cartoons and movies, or like me who read the comics.
Well, it's not like that there was anything. There wasn't that much that was notable. Because to be honest, Spider-Man villains are kind of dumb.
I can say that.
It's not like Batman villains. Those guys are iconic.
Yeah.
If anything, I'll put it.
Spider-Man's the opposite of Batman. You see, in Batman, you come for the villains. In Spider-Man, you come for the hero.
Except for the agony of that hero.
That's
The one
true,
thing
but it's because he's funny compared to Batman, who's not.
Yeah, I do get a chuckle of reading from him or watching him. He does get a chuckle out of me. But what I'm most sick about is just the constant reboots of him, both in movies and in comics.
Well, if you want to put it this way, all right. So does any? Of course, you guys remember Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yes.
I actually remember talking to somebody, like he said, saying that he would want, like he said, if you were to do, like a live action version of Batman Beyond, correct? You would literally bring back Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne.
I would not.
I don't know. But yeah, it had a really good ending if you include the movie.
Return of the Joker.
I think that's what.
Yeah,
called,
it was.
Yeah.
That was a really good movie.
I know. I love Batman Beyond.
It was. Well, Batman Beyond itself wasn't too special. It's just that one movie was
Right.
such an excellent end to the Batman animated series as a whole.
Yeah.
That it really felt like the end that it should have, Batman in general.
I don't think. Yeah, they haven't expanded it further other than that epilogue episode in the Justice League.
No, because Batman Beyond was always kind of fan fiction, honestly. It was stuff made by the Batman animated series just to
I don't
have their own thing.
I like to think there was no comic of Batman Beyond or anything like it because
I think there is some comic stuff.
There
but
are comics
They
now.
haven't done that much with it because that's not the future of Batman anymore.
actually, who knows what the hell the future of Batman is?
Well, it does always change, that's true. But Batman Beyond is not like the canon.
Yeah, but unlike at the time, there was.
It was the closest thing that we had to a Batman future.
Yeah.
And it had an excellent Joker death, an excellent return from death with Joker,
Yeah.
and an excellent
With-
finishing of it with
with-
an excellent new Batman.
with no cosmic level shenanigans.
Yeah, it wasn't cosmic shenanigans. It was a chip in Tim Drake's head.
Yeah, that.
Or actually on his skin, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway,
DC's continue to please take notes from the animated series. I think they do it better than you.
but let's just put it this way. And speaking of Michael Keaton, all right. So we get on the topic of Spider-Man. Let me just tell you the recent incarnation, the recent actor Tom Holland. Let me tell you, at first, I really couldn't stand him, just because let's put it to you this way. When he's Spider-Man, he just. Well, it wasn't so much as big of a problem as on his own when he was on his own in his own movies. He wasn't as, but when he was with the other Avengers, he would always make these one-liners. I wouldn't say, and I don't usually have a problem with that, but here he just would not have let any space to let it sink in. He would not shut up. He just won't shut up.
It was imposter syndrome.
Right.
All I can tell you is that he just won't shut up. So
Well, the thing is that he doesn't work with the Avengers. That's not who Spider-Man should be around. In the animated series that they had in the 90s, they had who he should be around. It was the X-Men. The X-Men and the Fantastic Four. That's who he should be around.
And even in the comics, he's not really part of a team.
Yeah, but when he is around people, those are the people he should be around because he's got in common with them that he's a mutant.
Yeah.
But
Although I'm not in the mutant in the most traditional
So
sense.
essentially, I would call that like the mutant verse.
Yeah.
We ignore the Avengers and that stuff, and we do the mutant portion as its own separate thing, and it works better.
Yeah,
But-
I can see that.
But either way, that's enough. I will tell you, when I saw Captain America: Civil War in theaters, and you know, and obviously you know what scene I'm talking about. When they're with that battle at the airport.
I know what you're talking about.
Inside the airfield with Spider-Man first thing. I have never said in the theater, "Shut up," so many times.
You shouldn't say that in theater, period, because there's other people there, and they'll tell you to shut up back, honestly. I'd do that. I'd be like, no, you shut up so we can watch the movie.
Yeah.
All I can say is, like I said, I have never said "shut up" so many times, but so many times. But anyway, but then, you know, like the first one, you know, like Homecoming came out, and while they did something different, he wasn't as bad, you know, like as far as that, it was toned greatly down. I think that's just due to the fact that you know, like, again, there are a lot of characters in the Avengers as a whole, and only so many can get good direction at a time. But here it was like, and Michael Keaton, you know, like he played, you know, the Vulture, you know, like from the comics in that film, and honestly, he was the best part, because come on, you were freaking Batman, Michael Keaton.
Right.
But you know, like the rest of the characters weren't, including, you know, like Peter Parker, they weren't as, you know, like.
Wait a minute, are we
interesting.
playing Superman 64?
Why?
We're playing Superman 64!
Oh, no, now I see.
I knew it!
But either way, but you know, like, but after the first one, I really thought he would improve, but then Infinity War came out, and he's back to which, by the way, came out after, by the way. And let me just tell you, I don't want to sound sadistic, but I was glad when with whatever his name snapped his fingers, he took Spider-Man with him.
Yeah, we just forget the name of Thanos regularly.
Yeah. Well, not.
And the funny part is, I never watched any of the MCU movies, and I know it's the
But either way, I was glad. But then you know, like and then Endgame came out, which I still haven't seen in its entirety because it's super long.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know.
But if you want to know how long it is, it's over 3 hours long.
Well, yeah, but like.
But anyway, the point of it being is.
Is this a trap piece?
So, but the point is then, you know, like, which I hadn't seen it when I saw Spider-Man Far From Home at that. I had not seen, you know, like Endgame at that point, so I didn't know everybody got brought back. So, but then, you know, like I watched, then I watched Far From Home, and I won't lie, Tom Holland really redeemed himself. He dropped he pretty much dropped the whole, you know, like constantly spouting jokes and one-liners thing, and he did it, and when he did do it, it felt, you know, it actually was timed enough. It had enough timing in it that, you know, it actually made it, you know, that it was actually, you know, funny, and yeah, it completely redeemed it. They completely redeemed themselves. Elves, and also the guy who played Mysterio was good. I knew he was a bad guy from the start because they don't even change, you know, the character's name, you know.
Yeah, even when it was coming out, people are like, yeah, he's the bad guy. No ands, ifs, or buts. But that didn't actually make him bad. That didn't actually make him a bad villain.
You're right. It didn't, and But then again, to a person who's never read the comics or really knows anything, it's a surprise to them. It's not really to us, but. But anyway.
So, if I can direct us back to the game for a moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Weren't we supposed to be doing something about a ghoul
I have no
there
idea
was a
what the heck
rock star.
I have no-
What's with all this clown stuff?
We're in a circus tent.
But why? We're supposed to be following a rock star zombie.
You're looking for logic in a Scooby-Doo.
And also, we're
Your
Resident
mom's logical. Ugh.
we're watching, but we're trying to go rescue Dat me because quote unquote because as per the usual formula, she's in trouble.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes it's
We
right.
just need an excuse for platform. We just needed an excuse for platforming.
But either way, there's one trope that I don't think even comes into play. There's this, one of the running tropes in Scooby-Doo, surprisingly, doesn't appear in this game. And what is that? Velma losing her glasses. I don't think it shows up once in this game.
Okay.
Well, that's because they'd have to make a separate asset for her glasses, and that was probably too much work to do.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah.
I didn't put too much effort into this.
Yeah, it's my glasses.
Alright.
I swear, there's only thing, I remember in Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed, which was the better out of those live-action movies, there's literally times she loses her glasses. Okay, so whatever.
Alright.
So,
Because here's the thing. She must be ultra nearsighted, dude. Because here's the thing, without my glasses, I can still see you clearly. Well,
You ever consider that maybe she's farsighted?
I don't know.
but either.
I don't know. I live in a family of nearsighted people.
But either way, it's
420.
yeah. No.
Wait, excuse me? An eggplant came out of it. You made an eggplant out of mubber?
What the heck is
You
going
gonna eat
on?
that?
He's like, no.
Logic.
And he's like,
Scooby-Doo logic. Don't question it.
It's an eggplant. And we're gonna do eggplant. We're gonna shoot eggplant now because nobody likes eggplant.
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
and if you don't get the reference, he's a gun YouTuber of Kentucky Ballistics, and that's one of the prime jokes, along with "It's watermelon time."
You did it, Scooby-Doo.
But either back to this, back to what I was saying. She loses her glasses, after that chase scene, and then she's like, my glasses. Oh no, not again! I really gotta consider contact lenses.
I'd never consider contact lenses.
Not me. I've had glasses in 2nd grade, and I never considered contact lenses.
Yep. I don't want those getting stuck in my head.
No. Wait, that could happen?
Yeah, they can get into the other parts of your eye is round and they go right here. They can go here.
Right.
Up inside your eye.
Now that's just making me less incentive to action.
And
now, admittedly, I don't think that's very likely.
Alright.
And as far as I understand, it's not too hard to take it out, but
Right.
I'm not going through that.
I don't want to go through that.
Especially when it's something I only need when I drive. I don't need it any other time. That's
Your
why-
eyesight's
Yeah,
you're like
that's
my
why
dad.
I never wear them when I'm anywhere else. I only wear them when I'm in the car.
yeah,
Yeah, you're like my dad who doesn't really wear his glasses that often.
I don't need them. I can read just fine. I can tell that there are things ahead. Sure, I can't see your face when you're like across the room, but I don't really need to.
Right. Yeah,
I guess that makes it sound like it's worse. That room over there. If you're across from that room over there, I can't see.
Right, as for me...
This room, yeah, I can see your face if you're over there.
Yeah, if I don't have my glasses on, you're blurry from right there. You're blurry from right there. I inherited my mom's, like, super nearsightedness.
It's okay. My face isn't that, unique.
Right. What about you?
Well, actually, maybe it is. Because I haven't met anyone who looks like me.
Well, I mainly use these mostly for driving, but they're also reading, like fires. But I've had a total of 4 sets of glasses. First one was in the 4th grade. Next was middle school, and the next 2 were just were just recent. Like, these are one of, like, you've seen both of them. These are, you know, like one of them, and I just have them. All right, here we go.
I've had 6 pairs, and you can see wear and tear from mine.
All right.
Boss fight time. We can.
This Guitar Land has very little guitar and rock stuff in it.
Where's the guitars? This is false advertising.
What's with all this circus stuff?
Well, they are part of theme park culture.
Yeah, but if they were gonna do that, they could have had a villain clown.
And I don't think.
Or a villain ringmaster or something.
And that one.
But it's a rock star villain.
And yet
So why is it not more rock star themed?
Yeah.
Well,
you don't have to get...
well, it's called Rock and Roller Coaster Land. It was started by Guitar. But again,
spoiling us for we don't really care.
but then again, I'm not exactly spoiling it because it was said right when we started this world. But you kind of, I knew you kind of weren't paying attention when, you know, like you were talking to that one guy Daphne's like, I'm a Guitar Ghoul fan too, you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
But you weren't paying context. Apparently, the Guitar Girl is a real person, but somebody has to be impersonating him. And honestly, this is at the point where, unless you're really paying attention, like you have the one guy, and now we have our neck, and then there are only like 2 potential suspects in this level, which I guess can kind of make it obvious in a sense, but then again, it just kind of confuses things.
It's like 90% of Ace Attorney cases.
Right.
The villain's obvious because there aren't enough suspects.
And also here, you
it
know,
does sort of become obvious.
I wish
only in certain cases.
And this is
once you like get enough context.
And here's the thing. Here, I just kind of forgot the one part of the layout for a second.
It looks like you're lost.
But that's because I'm trying to retrieve, you know, like the items, and then we'll get our final trap piece for this thing. And again, I probably should have chopped this out, but it wasn't like, but I didn't see it as like last time where it just took, you know, like really like 5 minutes really for me to just really get around it. But either way, we're gonna dump our food off.
Alright.
Oh shit, I know who the villain is.
Ooh.
What?
It's Matt Engard. Sorry.
Oh, that would be...
That was a bit, something that we would know.
Yeah, that would be the best twist.
To be fair, he looks appropriate for this world.
Oh, I would no doubt, but...
That's one of the villains from Ace Attorney.
Oh.
And it always gets him because that's the one that you actually represented as a client. It's the only client you have that's actually guilty.
I didn't get it at first because I actually thought he was genuinely dumb.
Yeah, he thought that the guy was good and just dumb. And then he realized he's the villain. He's like, oh shit, he tricked me.
Well, I started realizing when we were doing like the sight locks on him, and I'm like, it makes more sense that it was just him.
Yep.
Right,
it made more sense.
It's a clown. It's the ghoul!
Oh, I accidentally switched, you know, whatever. But then again, you already know what the next world is gonna be.
A juggling clown.
Well, I wasn't paying attention. What's the next world?
Juggling clown.
Museum.
Not helping clowns with their case.
Wait a minute. Is that clown juggling World War II Germany grenades?
They
look like it.
They're microphones. It says Mike Bash or Mike Throw. Which why would you use microphones as a weapon?
Yeah.
Because you don't have
grenades even make more sense.
If you don't realize your fists are more powerful.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
Double neck guitar. Double neck guitar. Of course.
I think they play the same tune every time they do stuff like that.
Right.
Because that sounds very familiar, that riff.
Yeah, same here. I don't remember what it is.
I think it's a stock sound, honestly.
I wouldn't be
surprised. It's actually sort of like done with, you know, like it's kind of like a symbol of kind of more hard rock kind of metal type of riff.
I've never seen anyone with a double neck guitar. I know they existed, but
all right, here we go.
Doesn't seem like there'd be a point. The problem is you'd have to have like both of your hands at the top of the guitars in order to properly
But
get them to the tune.
that
But
would
then
be
what
awkward as hell.
But then what would you strum with since
Yeah.
you're holding the strings with
It was
both
like-
of your hands?
It's like it's designed for someone with 4 arms.
Yeah. Or maybe 2 people. Have someone on the other side go clink, 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 clink.
I looked at the list of like all like guitars, and there was another one with like a 3 neck. But instead, it was a heart shape with 1 neck on the other side and 2 necks on the other.
So basically, it's change tune when you need to without having to retune the guitar.
And
That's
also,
actually a good idea.
Really?
Well, yeah, think of the keyboards that you've got multi-layers on.
Yeah.
So you can just go up.
Ah.
Or
all right,
down.
here we go. And you mentioned with him, your first guess with this was like an Elvis sort of themed monster. Well, if you know Elvis, some of the dialogue here, like one set of dialogue with this guy in this fight is a reference. Like he'll be like, thank you very much."
Right.
You'll have to listen because it's.
I don't think
You can run, but you can't hide. Is that a reference? I don't know.
Not really.
That's a very common saying.
that is a very common.
That's in lots of things.
Here we go.
Spiders.
And you can say these specific spiders are metal. Basically, what if you can't already guess, you just hit them and you break the glass right there.
Right.
And if you wait too long, the spiders get on the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and well, they do hurt in
Alright.
Why are there spiders there?
I don't know.
What is this world trying to do? It keeps mixing
It's
things
having
together.
it's whiplash. It's kind of whiplash.
Just choose a theme and stick to it.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Jeez.
If you're asking me, these are probably, the spider animatronics before they're covered in mud to give them, the look.
Okay, but why are they in the rock and roll theme world?
Yeah.
Why are they not in
rock and
horror
roll.
world or
Well,
spider world,
Spider World. If he
where
had
Spider-Man could be the villain?
Well, if you want to get the aesthetics, like a more darker sort of like metal band, they use a lot of things like bats as an aesthetic, and
Yeah, but bats are not spiders.
yeah.
and some maybe do spiders. Heck,
I have no doubt.
if you're Ozzy Osbourne, you'll literally bite the head off of one.
I know Rockstar. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Rockstar.
Ozzy Osbourne is not a good metric for anything. The dude fried his own brain.
He did?
Have you listened to him talk?
A little bit?
Do you think that is a person who has a functioning brain at the moment?
Not really. I don't think he knows what the hell's going on anymore.
No, he really messed up his brain with the amount of drugs he did.
Living that rock and roll lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a wonder that he's even alive.
Yeah, I think he is still alive.
Well,
He is.
Well, all I can say is, one of the other musicians, I swear, it's amazing how, while he did end up dying, it's amazing how much drugs this person consumed. Let me kill Mr. I think he was a guitarist in Motorhead, I think.
Motorhead?
I think he...
Wait, Lemmy Kilmister?
Yeah.
Motorhead? I have his songs.
Yeah.
Ace of Spades? Ace of Spades?
Yeah, he's... Let me just tell you, let's put it to you this way. I've heard of people saying, oh, they have a, say a pound of weed and they'll smoke it within 2 days. He could probably, if you give it to him by morning, he'll probably have it all smoked by sunset.
You know what's my first exposure to like Lenny Kilmister? It wasn't from his like concerts. I never went to any of his like concerts or listened to his songs until recently. It was from a movie called Hardwire.
Never heard of it.
No, I wouldn't expect you to. So like a sci-fi horror movie, and he played a cameo in it.
Oh, and another thing from the time, I think he was late teens. He drank an entire bottle of Jack Daniels a day, up until shortly before his death.
Okay, that just proves that he's an excessive individual who has no self-control.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Who is it?
I mean, we don't really know these people. Yeah, I kind of figured.
I forgot about him.
The first guy that showed up.
I forgot about him.
I'm the victim here.
What do you mean? Daphne, what we have before us is a story of
Alright,
jealousy. Mr.
alright, I'm
Williams'
checking
band,
out.
Potato was never a real success. He blamed his failure on the guitar ghoul, whom he saw as a rival.
Wait, so like you blamed yourself?
And you'll be surprised with this. And this also does.
He was offered a way to
And there's
destroy
a
the
twist
guitar
coming
ghoul,
right here.
literally from the inside.
What, second phase of a boss fight?
No.
Alright, just make sure.
Absolutely not.
I thought all these people were actually Mubber.
Mubber.
No, only the first one was.
Mubber.
Of course. Who gave you that costume, Mr. Wiener?
They didn't offer their name. Just a chance for revenge.
By sabotaging the guitar ghoul's popular theme park.
hadn't been for you
We've gotten away with it too. If it hadn't been for you,
He didn't say
Who's
you
the real-
stupid dog.
And you're
Why is he hiding? Not
Why is he
he.
hiding?
She.
Not he. She.
Yeah, Velma's right.
That's cool.
I am
Whatever.
the real guitar.
Cool story.
Cool story, bro.
Identity.
I wanted to
This
show
guy
you
you're talking about?
Yes.
about my life.
Yes, and
So I
let's just.
created the guitar
And
with
here's
stars.
why. At
Perhaps
least in
this
this time, you could not have a secret identity like that. Because you'd have people trying to figure out who you are, and they would.
I've got some
Okay.
information between
So
my
who are the people who shit, now I can't even remember. Daft Punk, that's who I was saying. It's true that we do actually, you can actually look up who they are, but do you know who they are?
No.
No, because I don't think they're.
Yeah.
Hear 'em scare 'em at the museum.
I think it's possible to remain anonymous. You just have to have a good publishing company that'll keep you anonymous.
Right.
And
Like
and
you said,
have-
Daft Punk.
Yeah, so, I mean, the company, people would be able to look it up and look up who the company is, but they don't have to share their contract.
No.
But then again,
So that
then,
they
then,
wouldn't get your real name.
then you have nosy but then it's left to the nosy paparazzi, which I
Yeah,
which
well,
I
okay,
have
whoa.
I have less than kind things to say about them
Here's
because
the thing.
because
Well, I'm going to stop you right there.
From what Nikki heard,
'Cause here's the
place
thing.
where Jed worked, monsters
Sure, you
fight
could go
and
in and
monsters
out of the building. That
fight
doesn't
most
prove
of
that
the
you're that
interactive exhibits
secret
here.
identity person. You could be a janitor for all they know. That doesn't prove who you are.
Right.
all right.
That's the
all right,
perks of being anonymous.
all right. This is the all
Yeah,
right,
this is the end here.
this is the end here. So
Yeah.
It's time to sign off.
And when we start this level, I've already told you what the monster we're fighting up here is again, so I really don't think you're gonna be any shortage of making that reference.
Right.
Sign off time?
Yep, sign off time. Let's go.
Right.
Oh, you don't do that? Okay.
Yep, sign off time.